History is written by the victors. But what if everything we know about the birth of Hinduism is a lie? For centuries, we have been told that Hinduism is the oldest religion in the world, without a single founder, without a definite beginning. A spiritual force said to have originated in India, born from the divine revelations of the Vedas. But what if I told you that Hinduism wasn't born in India at all? New findings suggest that Hinduism's origins might be far more complex than we ever imagined. In fact, its roots may lie in one of the world's first civilizations, Mesopotamia. The Sumerians, who lived in Mesopotamia over 5,000 years ago, worshiped gods that bear striking similarities to Hindu deities. Anu, the sky god, closely resembles Dyaspita from early Vedic texts. Enlil, the storm god, has traits similar to Indra, the king of the gods in Hindu mythology. But it doesn't end there. The Sumerians also believed in an unseen force governing fate, much like the Hindu concept of karma. Their rituals involve fire sacrifices, hymns, and chants, elements we see mirrored in Hindu yajnas and Vedic recitations. And here's where it gets even more shocking. Ancient Mesopotamian texts, such as the Enuma Elish, share surprising parallels with Hindu creation myths. Both describe a cosmic ocean, a primordial chaos, and gods who shape the world. Could this mean that the Hindu creation stories were not entirely unique, but inspired by older Mesopotamian beliefs? Some historians propose that a forgotten migration occurred around 2000 BCE, when Indo-European tribes moved eastward, carrying with them the spiritual knowledge of Mesopotamia. These migrants, possibly priests or sages, blended their beliefs with the already thriving Indus Valley civilization, which had its own local gods and rituals. The Indus Valley civilization, which flourished around the same time, practiced a religion that included worship of nature, fertility symbols, and a proto-form of Shiva, often depicted in yogic postures. Could it be that the fusion of these cultures eventually gave birth to what we now call Hinduism? The Vedas, considered the oldest Hindu scriptures, were supposedly composed by sages who received divine knowledge. But some researchers argue that these texts were influenced by earlier civilizations. Consider this. The word soma, the sacred ritual drink mentioned in the Vedas, has no known origin in India. But in ancient Persia, the word hauma described a similar ritual drink used in Zoroastrian ceremonies. Coincidence or evidence of cultural borrowing? Even the Sanskrit language itself is linked to Indo-European roots, sharing similarities with ancient Persian and even Greek. This suggests that Hinduism's foundational texts may have been shaped by ideas brought from the West rather than purely emerging in India. If these connections are real, why don't we hear about them? Why Hinduism is always described as purely Indian? The truth is, religions are powerful tools for identity. A civilization's origin story shapes its culture, politics, and beliefs. Admitting that Hinduism evolved from external influences would challenge nationalist narratives and disrupt centuries-old traditions. History is full of untold stories erased by those in power. Could it be that the true origins of Hinduism were deliberately forgotten to maintain the illusion of a divine and indigenous faith? If Hinduism is not as ancient and purely Indian as we believe, then what else have we misunderstood? The past is a puzzle, and we may never have all the pieces. But the question remains, what do you believe?